Hello everybody and welcome to Coastal Living. Today we continue our celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month by celebrating mariachi music in particular, local and the history of mariachi music, plus a local celebrity and nationwide celebrity are tuning in to let us know what they love and appreciate about this month in particular, and why not have some food while we're at it. We're all kind of hungry about this time of the day, right? Thank you for joining us. We've got so much to see. It's Coastal Living. Hello everybody and welcome to the show. Once again, I've got my beautiful Jocelyn next to me because we've got some things to talk about this morning.
Yes, we do.
Afternoon.
Of course. It feels like morning to us because sometimes we're exhausted. We work very hard on the show, but we love what we do, and we love to especially talk about some very important topics like Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yeah, we've celebrated in the past, and I feel like this year we've really taken advantage of the opportunity to dive in. You know, we talk about it a lot on the show, but really we got a few months here on TV, live, doing Coastal Living, and then we had 2 years of the pandemic.
Right.
So coming back, it almost feels like we're starting all over again.
Oh, I know.
And we're really able to take this new and improved approach to the way that we handle things like Hispanic Heritage Month. So we've really been able to get out into the community, to talk to people, organizations, groups like you're going to see today. And it is really inspiring for us to just personally be out there and interview some of these people to find out what it really means to them.
And we've agreed on this, that this is just one of many reasons why we love what we do.
Yeah.
We love to get connected with the community and speak with you all at home, especially about what you're mostly passionate about with Hispanic Heritage Month. Now, I have to ask you, Clarissa, who is someone who inspires you during this month?
Of course, the cliche would be like my family, right? My mother, my grandmother, my sister, all the women in my family in particular. And of course the men too. I'm thinking girl power, but gosh, the drive that my father has when it comes to work has certainly filtered onto his children, because if I don't have 10 jobs, there's something wrong. Yeah. And I think that working hard and that ethic is a part of our culture. Our Hispanic culture is a lot of us were culturally raised in poverty, and our parents wanted to provide for us what they didn't have, and that they, you know, they worked hard to provide for us. And now in turn, I just feel like it's in my genetics to work really, really hard and provide for my family. So I give it all to my family, my mom, my dad, my siblings, because everybody really works their little booties off.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows, and it's a community thing.
Oh, absolutely, and I have to agree. I mean, our family, our grandmothers, our grandparents, they have, you know, molded us with who we are now as, you know, women.
Exactly.
And that's who inspires me, my mother, my grandmother. I've said that many times on the show, and I wear her bracelet every day just to have her with me. And if it's one thing I will say without getting emotional is I wish I have learned her recipes. One day I will master them. That's one thing about Hispanic Heritage Month that's that, you know, special is the food.
Yes, it is. And I like that you mentioned that. You do have these recipes to try, to work on?
I wish I can, like, master them.
You will. Over time you will. Right. But I love that now we have the technology to document things like that, because maybe now you have your own twist, and you can document that onto, I mean, sometimes it's a cutting board or into an app or a book or some way to remember it so that it can be passed down for generations. And it's truly about understanding not only the lineage right above us, but our history. I want to learn about my ancestors way back in Spain and Portugal, and how did they get here, and how did that happen?
Interesting. I mean, just the history of where we come from, growing up, the food that we were able to indulge in, but whether it's our family or just people here in the community, there's so many people that honor this month, especially our beautiful mayor, Paulette Guajardo.
Yeah, let's check it out.
I love Hispanic Heritage Month, and you know, last year, as my first year in office, we kicked it off at City Hall.
Mayor Paulette Guajardo says that Hispanic Heritage Month had not had a proclamation read through the city of Corpus Christi in many years then, so she was honored to do that, and
continue the tradition in proclaiming that Hispanic Heritage Month is about 62% or so of this community. We are 62 roughly percent Hispanic, a Hispanic culture. Every culture matters. Let me start by saying that. Every culture matters, but of course, as a Hispanic myself, and a Hispanic woman whose mother is from Mexico, our culture means so much, and we're just very family-oriented and rooted. I'm very proud to proclaim and to celebrate from October 15th to September 15th our culture, Hispanic Heritage Month.
This also goes with how our community honors the true meaning of this month with their own special traditions.
You know, I think a lot of traditions happen inside our homes. within our relationships. But what we see a lot and celebrate is the food, because we love Mexican food and just food and music.
And speaking of food, I couldn't help but to ask what Mayor's favorite dish was.
Carne guisada is like my absolute favorite.
She says that her mother always made carne guisada with homemade tortillas and mashed potatoes. Not only did she make some of her favorite meals, but has molded her to the powerful woman that she has become from her roots.
My mother absolutely influenced me and has also taught me, through the years of carrying on the tradition of our Hispanic culture within my own family.
From wisdom being passed down from her mother comes with the admirable mayor that she is, as she shares her advice for other women of all ages right here in the Coastal Bend.
The advice that I would give, and I gave it to a group of 10 girls at Cunningham at South Park Elementary School just a few hours ago, is to not try to fit into any mold, but to be your own mold. And that applies not only to a group of junior high school girls, but also to women of my age and older, right? Younger or older. Because many times I think we find ourselves trying to fit into a mold that has been set by society that shouldn't be. We make the position. We make the mold. You make your show. So I think that's very important, because we are just trained by society to say, well, should I do it? Because I don't know, I don't look the right way, or I may not be the right, I don't look the way that position is supposed to be. So my advice is be your own mold, make that mold, and do it.
Words of affirmation from our very own mayor, Paulette Guajardo, who continues to be our coastal hero.
We love Mayor Paulette Guajardo, and I love what she says, again, reinforcing the thing about parents, because truly it kind of sets the tone when you become a parent. What are you going to hand down? Because it truly influences the way that your children live for the rest of their lives.
I agree.
So as I said, we've got a local celebrity, we've got a nationwide celebrity. Our next guest was able to take the time, put a time aside to share what Hispanic Heritage Month means to her. Let's see what Eva Longoria has to say.
Hey, y'all, I'm Eva Longoria, Corpus Christi native, actress, producer, director, philanthropist, tequila maker, mom. And to me, Hispanic Heritage Month is about recognizing who you are so that you can build who you want to become on a strong foundation of cultural identity. And something that I was taught about my culture that I want to pass down to my child is to hold tight to your roots. You can expand your branches and acquire knowledge and experiences, but stay true to your roots. And to all the Latinos and Latinas out there who think they're not going to be able to succeed, you can. Make the mistakes. Don't be afraid to say yes. Go through life knowing there's a lot of failure that happens, and all you've done is just discover a way not to do it. So to all my fellow Hispanics, happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Celebrate who you are each and every day.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Some powerful women on today's show.
And it's really neat to see women who, again, aren't trying to fit a mold. It's about setting yourself aside or setting yourself apart and just being yourself, however you're raised to be. If you're extra Chicana and it shows the way that you act and the way that you speak. I know I do my little Chicana talk sometimes.
love it, though.
That's a part of my culture. That's a part of how I was raised. We do it in my household. It's just a part of who I am. So I just really love and appreciate these women chiming in and reminding us that not only as a female or a male, you are capable of doing anything. You don't have to worry about it.
To never be afraid of who you are. I used to be very shy and timid, and now, I mean, you've helped me with that.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of blossoming out of my shell more and more, and I'm grateful for that with you, and of course these wonderful women who are really encouraging us today.
Absolutely, and we love to see it, girl. We're proud of you, proud of everybody out there for taking chances. And let's give back to the community as well. $5 can buy one book for a child right here in the Coastal Bend. Head to the website kztv10.com/give-a-book to offer your money today. All right, guys, we'll be back with more on Coastal Living. We've got a recipe coming up. We're going to hear some mariachi music and so much more. See you in a bit. Now, when many of us think of the Hispanic culture, the first things we go to are our cuisine and our tequila, which we all love and appreciate, margaritas. But there's so much more to it. One of the things that stands out to me is mariachi music. I love the culture, I love the history, and I love the music, of course.
Yes, and it goes hand in hand with this month. Now, I have to ask, with mariachi music, what is your favorite song when you go to a restaurant or when that really stands out from your childhood?
I get this from my mom and from my childhood. One is Tu Solo Tu by Selena, and the other one is Amor Eterno by Rocío Dúrcal, by another artist, but that's the version my mom likes me to sing.
I love it. I love it. So for me, it's Si Nos Dejan. So that one's by Luis Miguel, but something about it reminds me of my grandmother, and it hits very closely to home. But now let's talk a little bit of history about the mariachi music. Now, the roots of mariachi go back hundreds of years, and this was actually music of country people. It was performed and celebrated just how it is today during joys, struggles, yes, struggles, of course, and celebrations. Now, it emerged in the late 1700s and 1800s in West Central Mexico. Now, I did a lot of research on this. This actually took place in many different areas of Mexico, and the word mariachi may have come from the language of Coca Indians, yet the origin and early history of its followers are unknown. There's a lot of research that goes with this. Now, the mariachi was a version of Spanish theatrical instruments containing violins, guitars, and even a harp, with performers wearing matching attire, just like it does now. Now, the ensemble of the mariachi was learned from diverse regions. In addition to referring to an ensemble, the term mariachi is also used for the individual performer of mariachi music, considered as uniquely, quote, Mexican sound, representing a homegrown tradition that embraces indigenous and foreign elements. Now, like I said, mariachi music continues to be a huge part of Mexican and Hispanic cultures, a wonderful way to celebrate the month and just to enjoy family, friends, and overall the music.
I agree, and it is nostalgic. I don't care where you are when you hear it. You can be in the restroom, the shower, you can be running your errands. You hear mariachi music, it takes you back to that one quinceañera or the last wedding that you were at. I love it.
A lot of history that goes with it, and I love that we celebrate it and we still listen to it today.
Yes, we do. And in case you haven't heard some in a minute, I had the opportunity to visit with the Mariachis De La Isla over at TAMUCC. Let's learn a little bit about their process in selecting songs and performing.
Hello, we're Mariachi De La Isla. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month!
My name is Roberto Garza. I am one of the vocalists and the harp player for Mariachi de la Isla. We have a process to collect our songs for the semester. We work on our strengths. We always like to showcase all our singers, and from there we like to select songs towards their preference, but the professor also has his own wonderful choices of songs for the occasions that we are performing. And from there we go on and we gather all our strengths and we perform the wonderful songs that we have chosen for the semester. Hispanic Heritage Month means to me the remembrance of our culture and how it came to be and everything that has led to this time in our society. We've come from tribulations and oppression, but we have strengthened our culture, and now everybody wants to enjoy our wonderful culture.
I'm Jacob Ramos. I play the classical guitar, and I'm part of the university's mariachi. Mariachi music is important because it drives from the folk music from South America to Mexico, and it's fascinating to kind of bring that to the local area and to remind us that we not only come from here, but we span generations upon generations.
My name is Leti Gubal de Luna. I play the vihuela and I also sing. We're so happy that we get so much support from our dean, from our provost, from our president. We're not just on this month, but all year long. In Christmas, we do a tamalada, and we have Cinco de Mayo. And then our president's birthday is Cinco de Mayo, so we go all out. And so we just do different things throughout the year that celebrate our heritage.
I'm Ray Morales. I am the trombone professor here at A&M Corpus Christi. Also, I serve as the ensemble director for the Mariachi De La Isla. You heard a little bit from our group today. We'd love to invite you to our showcase. It's the Mariachi and Folklorico Showcase on October 11th. It's free and open to the public. Anybody is invited. Come early, get you a seat, and we'd love to see you here.
My name is Jim Moore, and I'm director of the Performing Arts Center at TMA UCC. We're very excited to support mariachi in the Coastal Bend, and in fact, we have a mariachi festival on April the 14th and 15th. We've expanded it from 1 day to 2 days next year. So mark your calendars, save the date, April 14th and 15th at the TMA UCC Performing Arts Center.
The one, the only, the famous, the magnificent, amazing Miss Alyssa Pena.
Oh, geez.
Owner,
Thank
creator
you.
of Jalapeno Salsa, which you're very familiar with, the best salsa in town. And you've got another delicious recipe to share with us today.
I do. Okay, so today we're doing, first of all, thank you for the amazing intro.
You're welcome.
on Happy Goodness Birthday time. Okay, so we made arroz con pollo verde this week, which is like a take on arroz con pollo, only we made it with the salsa verde, made it super yummy, absolutely delicious. What we're doing now is we're breaking it down, and we're gonna make arancini,
which
my
is
favorite little Italian appetizer, and it's like, you know, a lot of people I've catered for around town know it. So they're rice balls stuffed with chicken and cheese, and they're fried, so it's golden and creamy and super delicious, and then they've got the pretty pull. So we're gonna make it all.
that up. I've never heard of it before, but it sounds delicious.
Arancini is not something that we normally make around here, right? It's like happy Italian dessert. So we're gonna take the rice from the arroz con pollo, right? The verde rice. We're gonna put all this in here. We'll just do part of it. We don't have to do all of it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do the chicken, right, that we stuffed off the bone that we made. We used skin on bone-in chicken thighs for the original recipe.
Okay. Chicken
so now we're gonna
a little more flavored, juicier.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I'll tell you what, with your pretty gloves, so you want to put just like a little handful of this in there.
Little onion, little what do we have?
Cilantro, green onions. We're gonna play a little bit.
Is that good?
Perfect. Boom. And this is kind of sticky. The rice has, you know, all the pretty flavors of the verde. It's got a little bit of cheese in it already. And then we're gonna put just the tiniest bit of cheese in here, just like this.
Okay.
We're gonna mix this around, and it's gonna stick really well together because you're gonna see. We're gonna put all these in, and now we're gonna form little happy balls, right?
Love it.
So.
Happy balls.
There's gloves. So while we're doing this, we're gonna start.
I'm ready.
So we've got our little
assembly line
ready to rock and roll. So what we're gonna do here is you're gonna grab a little bit out of here. Here's a spoon for you.
Okay.
And you're gonna make a little ball. And then in that ball, we're gonna add a little bit more cheese. And the coolest thing about this is you can use day-old rice, you can use sushi rice, you can use...
That's what I was going to say. Is this kind of like a good leftovers recipe? Because it looks
perfect.
Like, you know, and you're like, what do we have in the fridge? Some chicken, some arroz. Like, what are we going to make with it?
You've got...
Put this together.
Yep, you've got all this stuff, right? So we're going to do it kind of like you're making meatballs. So form it down. I normally kind of put it in my palm, and I make a little hole.
Okay.
Fill that little hole with cheese. Like these, like these, like these. Put it in there. And then you're going to close the hole. Flip it together. And so basically you just don't want the cheese to show right on the inside. And this has got the herbs and it's got all the pretty flavors of that verde arroz con pollo, which by the way is my new favorite dish. I'm never gonna stop eating it because it's my favorite thing on earth.
It's really good.
And everybody was really sweet about it this week that loved it. So you're gonna make a bunch of these, you're gonna line them up. They look like this when they're done. And then we're going to, this is about 4 eggs, salt and pepper, sure there's like a little bit of happiness in here.
Okay.
This is, oh, and the fork too, so we're gonna put that in there too.
Yes, you want to make fork adds flavor.
Fork adds all the flavors. In here, breadcrumbs, panko, salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of the herb from here, so parsley, cilantro, green onions, just to give it a little bit of color on the outside. So we're gonna pull these in there.
We already got absorbed our flavor from the fork.
Yeah, so we're gonna put those in there. So we can use a spoon, toss these in here. Basically just coat, normal breading, normal dredging. Get all of your excess product off, right?
Okay.
Put it in here. Dry spoon, right? So wet hand, dry spoon, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. And then we go TV magic.
Boom. Happy arancini.
Oh my goodness.
Happy
so we fry
little.
them. What is the temperature?
So we fry them in vegetable oil, canola oil. I use a combination now of grapeseed oil and canola oil. And then I made a habanero aioli. So basically, it's my creamy habanero salsa added with a little bit of sour cream to cut that intense heat. And then we dip and we play.
Okay.
And then we dip and play.
Delicious recipe. Try this at home. But with the few minutes we have or seconds we have left, tell me about the latest, greatest news with Alyssa.
Okay, all good things. So I got picked up by, or jalapeno salsa got picked up by Jade City Foods. So we are now manufacturing and producing salsa for Kevin Smith of the Salsa Shark line. So the director of Clerks, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, everything. He's got a salsa line called Salsa Shark that I'm now making for him. Thank you.
Wonderful news. Amazing. This is what Coastal Living is all about, is just uplifting and promoting people that are doing big things. And by the grace of God, girl, you follow your dreams, you follow your heart, and good things happen. And so we're so proud of you. Where can we find this new line? It's important to support this new line as well.
Absolutely. So Jade City Foods, we want you to go there and we want you to try the Salsa Shark line. So jadecityfoods.com is going to be where you can find all of the salsa.
I love it.
And then, of course, jalapeñosalsa.com, where you can find all of the normal happy goodness.
Yep, available at Total Wine, and of course all the festivals. You're going to see Alyssa with her samples over there.
Always.
She might not have samples of this though, so make sure you try this yourself. Buy your salsita and try this delicious recipe. If you do, let us know. Alyssa, always great to have you. Love, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, babe.
All right, we'll be back with more. Well, we had a wonderful show today, but before we go, why don't we leave you reminding you to do a good deed. Head over to the website kztv10.com/giveabook. $5 will donate one book to a child in our very own community, and then you can just take that cape off, honey, because you already did your good deed for the day.
Absolutely, Miss Clarissa. We're also going to be honoring Hispanic Heritage Month throughout the entire month until the 15th, of course. And our Clarissa Sang with Mariachis. Head over to our Facebook for more information. We want to hear your favorite song.
That's right. See you tomorrow right here on Coastal Living. Adios!